I'm Janelle, the creator of Brick & Co. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thanks for finding me. Funny story, actually. I already recorded this video once a couple weeks ago, and I just wanted to be able to give you guys a little tutorial on how to take care of your eyebrows at home. But the main part of the video that I recorded it all in time lapse. So that was unusable. So of course everything else was fine except for the bulk of the video that I needed. So you might see a few clips of that near the end. I don't know, we will see. But here we are once again recording how to maintain your eyebrows at home. So hopefully you find this video useful. If you do, make sure to give it a thumbs up and comment below. And also if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Alright, so for this video, if you are interested in getting any of the things that I show you here, I do have them all linked in a blog post on brickandco.com. I will have that linked below, so if you are interested, definitely make sure to check those out. Now, I have been using the GG wax pot for many years. This is now my second pot. I absolutely love it. I've never had any issues with the GG pot or the GG waxes. The one I have here is the soft cream for sensitive skin, which I definitely like over some of the other waxes that they have. So as you'll see here, as for the wax, we've got baby powder. You could use just plain cornstarch, our wax pot actual wax. We have Vaseline or coconut oil. We have little coffee stir stick or popsicle stick. I have my muslin cotton wax strips, which I actually just cut small pieces off of this big guy here. And then as far as the tinting goes, you will need some Q-tips, another wooden stir stick. This is just an orange wood stick. We have a little paintbrush, which is what I use to apply tinting mixture. We have our Reflectosil eyebrow tinting color, as well as our developer. We have some cotton pads, a little jar to mix the two together. Another thing I should mention is to make sure that you stir your pot really well. I usually set my pot at high and then turn it down to low when it comes time to actually waxing. When you're ready to wax, you will want to take your stick into your wax and clean off the one side. Have just a little bit of a bead on there, not to load up too much because less is definitely more when it comes to eyebrow waxing. You don't want a bunch of wax on there only for it to remove more hair than you originally planned. And that is basically it. Let's get waxing. So first things first, I always make sure to wash my face, take all of the makeup off, and really clean in and around the eyebrows, making sure to remove any oils and makeup in that area to make sure that the wax and the tint adhere like they need to. So I will go and wash my face off camera and I'll be right back.
A few moments later.
Alright, so to get started, we've already washed our face. Next, what I recommend doing is taking your baby powder, applying it as neatly as possible into your eyebrow area. This will help to absorb any oils in and around the eyebrow, and it just helps to make sure that your wax applies evenly onto the skin. Now you might be like, Janelle, how do you know how to do eyebrows and where did you learn this? Well, first of all, I have been doing my eyebrows, like I said before, for a very long time. My mother-in-law is also a hairdresser, and so I've picked up a few of her tricks in the early years, as well as I did work in a salon for a short amount of time, but I did learn a few tips and tricks there. I am a nail tech, so I haven't had formal training with any eyebrow waxing or tinting, so I do want to just let you know that. And I've just kind of come up with my own at-home routine. Now, if you are concerned about how to shape eyebrows, in the link below to the blog post that relates to this video, I will have some material that will help you to determine how to shape your eyebrows if you've never done that before, and how to make sure that they stay as natural as possible. Eyebrows are definitely a super important feature to your face and can definitely affect the way that you look. So it is important to make sure that you do kind of follow those guidelines. And like I said before, if you are nervous about that, just do a simple cleanup. I would definitely recommend going to a professional and having them shape your eyebrows for you. And then these steps that I'm showing you next will be an easy way to maintain your eyebrows until your next appointment. I just realized you will also want a spoolie brush. You can pick these up at your local cosmetic department, or on the back of your eyebrow pencil, there's probably a good chance that there's one on there. Okay, so now that you have the baby powder in your eyebrows and all the oils have been absorbed, we are going to move into brush out our eyebrows all the way to the top. So once you're happy with that, then you want to comb them all down, because what we're going to do is we're going to start with waxing the top part of our eyebrows first. By doing this, it puts all the longer hairs down to the bottom, and when you wax the top, they are, or should be, farther away from the wax, and you shouldn't find that you pull them out. So hopefully you can see that, but you should grab a little bit of wax, about that much, and you will want to take it along the outside of your eyebrow. I don't put it too close to the eyebrow because I don't want to risk taking off any hairs that I don't want to. But there are hairs around here that are a little bit darker and longer, and I like to get those ones. So when waxing, once you pull your first wax, you can usually use it a couple more times quickly in the area to help remove any leftover wax. We will do the top part. And I always reuse the other side because I like to reuse as much as possible so I'm not wasting. And I'll even fold it in half. So you should be able to see there that the top is a little bit more red, but it is definitely clear, and you can see a little bit of my growth at the bottom too. So next we will do the bottom part of the eyebrow. So we will move all the hairs upwards and we will follow that line that's already there. So when you do the bigger patches, you definitely want to make sure that you rub it and pull quickly, and you should get some good hairs off of there. I know I just did this a couple weeks ago, but I was quite surprised to see how quickly my hairs grew back. That's not a normal thing, so this kind of worked out. So if you are nervous to get really close to the bottom part of your eyebrow, definitely do as close as you would like, and you can always go in with tweezers and tweeze out a few of the other ones there. If you are nervous, it is better just to be more cautious than it is to just go in and go crazy. Next, we will do the center of the brow. Alright, so here you should see that I have cleaned up the area. I am growing out this a little bit here, so it does look a little bit more straggly, but you can compare it to this eyebrow where you will see some growth on the bottom as well as the top, and the shape is just cleaned up. So now once you've done this eyebrow, we're going to go on to the next one. Alright, so now both of my eyebrows are done and we are ready to move on to tinting. So what you'll need is a little jar or a glass. A shot glass would work perfectly fine. You could even use a little bit of tin foil and kind of just make sure that it's big enough that when you put the developer in, it's not going to run out. So in the Reflectosil eyebrow tint, you'll get a little tube. I get black because usually my roots are quite dark and it does fade out a little bit. This is a really great option for other colored hair as well. If you've got blonde hair and your eyebrows are really light and you feel like you're always penciling them in, you could get a darker blonde or even a brown to darken them up, and you'll find that you won't be coloring them in quite as much or using as much product to color them in. That's what I find anyways with using the black with my eyebrows, is that I find I don't need to use as much of the eyebrow pencil that I use because it's kind of helping to fill in that gap. Okay, so to get your tint ready, you will now squeeze about an inch in there and about 5 to 10 drops of the developer, and then you mix it. It does take a little bit to kind of get it going. Okay, so it should look something like that. Now be careful with this. If you do drop it onto your clothes, it will stain, so make sure you're not wearing your Sunday's best because it won't come out. It is like a hair color, it is like any kind of dye, it will stain. So with that being said, it will stain your skin, and that is why we have the Vaseline. So you'll want to take your Vaseline and a Q-tip, outline your eyebrow with the Vaseline. trying not to hit any of the hairs, but enough just to protect your skin. Okay, so now we are protected with the Vaseline. And now you can grab the tool that you're going to use to apply the tint to your eyebrow. Of course, this is just a paintbrush from my kids' paint drawer that I got from Michael's. You could actually use an angled eyebrow brush if you have one available. This works for me and it was cheap and I already had it. So you will just want to color it in. And the best suggestion that I have is if you pencil in your eyebrows already, to kind of just follow that shape that you prefer. I like to do a thin layer first, just to make sure that everything is coated. You don't want to go in too heavy. You'll run the risk of it dropping. Okay, so now we have one eyebrow completed and we'll go on to the next one. You guys, that almost fell onto my white shirt, which I should not be wearing according to my own rules. Okay, we'll try that again. Okay, so now that I have both done, they're gonna look pretty wonky and not very good. So I have a little bit of tinting left, and once I feel like my eyebrows have been evenly covered, I like to load it up a little bit more just to make sure that everything is covered. Once I have them done, I like to go in with my Q-tip and pull out any extra dye that may have gotten on top of the Vaseline, which the eyebrow should be fine, but I just don't like to have it sitting there if it doesn't need to be. That Vaseline is basically your security blanket. And there you go, our eyebrows are tinting. I like to keep this on for about 5 to 10 minutes. I usually keep it on for 10 because I like to get it as dark as possible. If this is your first time tinting your eyebrows with this product, definitely make sure to do a patch test at least 24 hours to you using it on your eyebrows to make sure you don't have an allergic reaction. I don't have a reaction to it, but definitely please make sure to go slowly. Start off with 5 minutes and then kind of go from there to see what works best for your skin and your eyebrow hair. So while we're waiting as well, like I said, these items are available on Amazon, but that doesn't mean that they are the most budget friendly. If you're looking to save a little bit of money and not buy the salon quality eyebrow tint, I have seen tutorials where you can use a men's beard, I think that's what it's called, that you can get at like Walmart, and so I'd imagine it's probably anywhere from like $5 to $10 for that kit. I personally have never used that myself because I like to use this product. I know how it works and it's meant for your eyebrows, but I have seen people use facial hair coloring, so that would definitely be something that you could look into if you wanted to try a more budget-friendly option. All right, so it's been 10 minutes. Now you'll want to take your cotton pads and get them wet and have some dry ones available. The reason why we're using cotton pads is because we don't want to use any type of face cloth or a hand towel. The dye will stain that and we don't want to wreck any of those beautiful things in our houses. So with one swipe, you just use a little bit of pressure and you remove all of the dye, kind of go back and forth. Make sure to get some of that Vaseline off as well. Then I like to go in with the dry one and make sure it is pretty clean once you move it. And then we will go on to the next one. And so you'll see that your skin is slightly colored, but I do quite like that because like I said, you find that you don't end up needing as much eyebrow pencil.
The next day.
All right, well that ended abruptly. I didn't realize that I forgot to continue recording after I was finishing up my eyebrows. So now basically that was all you needed to know. This is the final look of my eyebrows with makeup on. I do have to color in the inside quite a bit just because in previous years I have overplucked. So I have to kind of compensate for that. But I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful, insightful. Like I said before, before. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button to see any future videos. I promise there's more to come. If you haven't already, make sure to check out my Instagram. I generally post daily. I've got some IGTVs on there and a lot of behind the scenes things that I am working on that I can share more frequently. So thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you liked it. Make sure to like it if you did and comment below to let me know what you think. Thanks so much. Bye!